All right, so this webinar is about, like I mentioned, the solar battery rebate, or the battery rebate in Illinois, brand new. It came to us as part of the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act legislation that was passed right at a year ago now. So it's one of the additional benefits that we're seeing as a result of that smart solar policy. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right, so before we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and my background, a little bit about StraightUp Solar, and then we'll go through the slides that talk about the incentive, and then we'll have time to answer questions at the end. But my name is Shannon Fulton. I'm Vice President of Development with StraightUp Solar. I direct our Central Illinois office here in Bloomington. We have about 20 to 22 people here in the Bloomington office. I started with the company back in 2013 as an installer and did some design work, and then eventually migrated into the business development and policy side. I'm on the board of the Illinois Solar Energy Association and have been for, I think a decade now. So I've been involved quite significantly in the two big pieces of legislation that Illinois has passed. Big group effort to make that happen for certain. But we've been involved in that from the beginning. And I came to solar as a non-traditional student after a career as a geologist, and really wanted to build these systems in the developing world. And I've done some nonprofit work in various countries in Africa and in Nepal. And in the U.S., this is the company that I've been with and love. So I really feel fortunate to be in the solar industry and living our vision to care for others by creating a path for clean energy and a sustainable economy that honors our values and everyone's healthy shared future. Speaking of values, this is how we spell clear at StraightUp Solar with an E at the end. Our clear values stand for putting our community first, leading the solar community, educating, advocating for solar policy. We're very, very dedicated to that. Our commitment to smart solar policy actually started in Missouri with the founder of the company, Dane Gleck, and our Vice President of Business Operations, Aaron Noble, who were at the forefront of getting an incentive passed there back in, I think 2010 or 11. So it started in Missouri and carried over into Illinois. And we certainly are committed to respecting each other and the environment, and in everything we do, from communicating in the sales process to webinars like this to flipping the switch on your solar energy system. We try to do everything with excellence. And all of that is enveloped in the fact that we are a certified benefit corporation. This, to put it simply, being a B Corp means that we undergo third-party review. And that review includes an assessment of our policies, our processes, our supply chain, our hiring policies, our financials, and it's basically an assessment of how we place people, planet, and profit on the same plane. We're really proud of working to be a benefit corporation. We were founded in 2006, again, serving Illinois and Missouri, founded in Missouri, over 2,000 installations and 34 plus megawatts to date across the spectrum. So small residential, large commercial and industrial systems, churches, municipalities, schools, you name it. If it's behind the meter, serving an on-site load, we build it. And we are part of an Amicus Solar Cooperative. I think that's another thing that sets us apart, in that we are part of a co-op of similar small solar companies across the country that those companies come together to form an equipment buying cooperative, and best practice sharing cooperative. And it's much more than that. But one of the key things that being a part of this cooperative means is that we can purchase equipment and pass in a collective and pass those savings on to customers. And in times like this, inflationary times and times when solar modules are in high demand and low supply often, that being part of that cooperative is really important for us. We also do asset management, O&M, operations and maintenance and service for large and small systems. And we are now at 127 people. That growth is entirely due to the smart legislation that's been passed since the Future Energy Jobs Act and Climate Equitable Jobs Act. We've grown significantly because of that. And nearly 40% of our people have what is called NABCEP certification. The North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners certification is the gold standard for solar installers across the country. So we subsidize that training for our people, and because we think it is so important for people to have that specialized solar training. Okay, enough about us. Let's talk about today's topics. It includes a quick overview of whether a battery is right for you, the battery offerings that StraightUp Solar currently has, what those incentives and benefits are to adding a battery to your solar energy system, and then just very simply how to get started. If you want to control your energy costs, your power access in case of a grid failure, put your utilities net metering policy on your side, and benefit from this rebate that we're talking about today, then batteries might be right for you. If you don't want a noisy generator as your backup, have to worry about getting access to that fuel in the case of an emergency, if you don't want to pay for infrastructure costs to bring natural gas or propane to your site to power the backup generator, or be subject to cost volatility for that fuel, then batteries combined with solar might also be right for you. And the way batteries can help you is during a grid outage. If batteries aren't tied in with your solar system cannot operate on your behalf. From a safety standpoint, the inverter on a grid-tied solar system without battery storage shuts down if stable voltage isn't seen on the grid side. And that's a safety protection mechanism to ensure that any people working on the lines or to fix them, let's say a storm has rolled through and some lines are down and the linemen are working on those lines. We want to make sure that if the sun comes back out, that you're not exporting energy to the grid. So your inverter shuts down. But if you add battery storage, you won't be, you will have power in the event of a grid outage. That your inverter will just automatically shift to battery storage and pull power from your batteries, pull energy from your batteries. You also will be able to, at any time, using a mobile app that it enables you to shift what is being powered by your storage system. The two main offerings that we have here at StraightUp Solar currently are the Tesla Powerwall and Enphase Encharge. Tesla Powerwall, proven track record, outstanding technology support. The supply has been a little bit cyclical because of the high demand, but definitely the most proven technology out there right now for this type of application. Enphase Encharge, also a great option. It has great resiliency with redundancies in case one part fails. So both are really strong options. The Tesla Powerwall energy capacity of 13.5 kilowatt hours per Powerwall, 5 kilowatts of continuous backup peak power, and it can be floor or wall mounted. You can combine up to 10 Powerwalls to power your needs. On average, it's It's got a 10-year warranty. On average, we're seeing people install 1 to 3 Tesla Powerwalls. That's pretty typical for the residential applications that we're seeing. We haven't really seen very many commercial and industrial applications in Illinois yet. And the cost at the bottom, it does range. Each house is different. The needs are different, but anywhere from, I'd say, $25,000 to $45,000 when you're adding storage for the Powerwall. And I'd say pretty similar for Enphase. Enphase has an energy capacity of 3.33 to 40 kilowatt hours. It has a significant range. These are wall mounted. Again, a 10-year warranty. You can combine up to 4 10 kilowatt hour batteries to cover energy needs. And again, similar cost range for those. What I'm not going to do today is talk in detail about how these batteries work in connection with solar, but I did want to introduce sort of the types of battery storage that we have. So let's look at the incentives real quickly. What are the benefits? So like we mentioned, your solar needs the grid to operate safely, right? The vast majority of solar installations are just simply grid-tied installations with no storage backup. But as the costs have become more reasonable for backup storage, more and more batteries are going online. When the power goes out, you will have power in the battery backup. There's little to no maintenance with these batteries, and it certainly improves your electric bill savings, in particular in cooperative and municipal utilities where the net metering policies may not be similar to Ameren and ComEd. And you can use your battery storage to your advantage so that you're exporting less to the grid. So very quickly here, the residential solar and battery incentives include the solar renewable energy credits. That's for the solar side. The smart inverter rebate, cash incentive, again, for the solar side, only available in ComEd and Ameren, investor-owned utility territory. That rebate is not available in ComEd municipal utility territory. The RECs are available statewide. Smart inverter rebate only in investor-owned utility territory or service territory. Likewise, the storage rebate is also only available in Ameren and ComEd. And then, of course, the federal investment tax credit with the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 that increased the ITC to 30%. So anyone who installed and reached permission to operate from the utility in 2022 and then out to 2032, for 10 years, 2032, that 30% federal tax credit will apply to your system. And it also applies to your battery. So for the whole battery plus solar cost, you can apply that 30% federal tax credit to the entire basis. And then from a commercial standpoint, commercial systems can monetize all of those incentives for residential that I've shown, plus depreciation, asset depreciation. So that's an additional benefit for the commercial side. Okay, quick rundown on the capital stack, the financial stack here. So for an example, this is just an example, a 14.4 kilowatt DC solar system paired with one Tesla Powerwall 2 at 13.5 kilowatt hours of storage. Looking at a solar cost of $51,000 plus a battery cost of storage cost of $37,000. Now, this photo shows 2 Tesla Powerwalls, but it's just an example photo. I didn't have a great photo with just one Powerwall, but so this photo isn't from this install. But so in total, solar plus storage for this project was $88,000. The REC payments for the solar come for this particular system, since it was 10 kilowatts AC and smaller, or less than 25 kilowatts AC actually, that these SREC payments come in the first year in a lump sum payment of $19,400 estimated again. And the storage rebate is $300 per kilowatt hour. So hopefully my math is correct, 300 times 13.5, and of $4,050. And then the 30% federal tax credit on that total $88,000 is another $26,400 credit. So in the end, the total net out of $88,000 project after all of the incentives is $38,150. So that's just a general idea of how the numbers for a single Powerwall, and frankly, more and more a pretty typical solar system size. We're seeing system sizes increase as the wattage of these panels increase as well. And again, you see in this photo, there are a lot more electric vehicles needing to be charged as well, which increases the need for, the usage of electricity. So a few points that I need to make about the storage rebate. So all of those incentives that I just showed you are available for solar plus battery. They're also available for a battery add-on to an existing solar system. So you could do it all at once. You could add a battery later. The battery storage is still available. You're still eligible for battery storage rebate. But it's only available for a grid-tied backup battery system, solar plus backup battery system. Off-grid systems cannot access either the ITC or the storage rebate. Okay, this has to be a grid-tied application. One other thing to note about the battery battery rebate eligibility is that anyone who received permission to operate on or after June 1 of 2017 is eligible. So this is a retroactive rebate in Ameren territory only. In ComEd, I believe, we don't do as much in ComEd, but I believe that eligibility threshold is December of this year. So there's not the level of retroactivity up in ComEd as there is in Ameren. Okay, and the value, again, for residential and small commercial is $300 per kilowatt hour. And for large commercial, it's $250 per kilowatt hour. So those are the rebate values. And one other thing that you'll need to know is that if you decide to take the rebate, and we will help you apply for this rebate. If you decide to take the rebate, a couple of things happen. You will have to agree to participate in an hourly or peak time pricing program with Ameren. And the other thing is that we will need to set certain settings on your inverter. So your inverter just has to have specific settings that allow in the event of a grid outage, not a grid outage, but like a grid event, they're calling it, like a serious grid event, that it's possible, it's not happened before here, but it's possible that the utility would need to access in some way the inverter capability. So there are certain settings in that inverter that provide that open access if needed for the system. So there are a couple of strings attached to this rebate. I don't personally see yet, it's brand new, but I don't personally see yet any huge risks to be concerned about. But you should be aware of it and make sure that you talk through the details of it with the project developer. One other thing to note is that if a system applies for and receives the battery storage rebate only, not the smart inverter rebate, a residential and small commercial customer can maintain full retail net metering. If you also take the smart inverter rebate, you can monetize both rebates. I'm not going to really get into the smart inverter rebate with this, but if you monetize and take the smart inverter rebate, you revert to supply only net metering. It's a lot of words. It might be very complicated for you to understand right now, but again, talk to your project developer, talk to us, we'll model it for you and help you understand how it impacts your financials and the operation of your system. So if this is something that you want to learn more about and you already have solar with StraightUp Solar, contact your project developer and have them look into it for you and model it for you. If you don't have solar yet and you want to pair the two, get in touch with us. I have you can email hello@StraightUp Solar and we'll help you we'll take some basic information and help you understand what those details look like. And again, you can check out our battery blog at StraightUp Solar. We will send that link in the email follow-up so that you have that. Or if you prefer to call, you can just simply call 844-97-SOLAR and we'll get you connected with the project developer if you aren't already and answer your questions.